Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here today. Thanks for joining me. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas. And I would love for you to subscribe to my blog. It's createwithkelly.com. And I have a YouTube channel called Create with Kelly Pitts and a Facebook page called Create with Kelly and a Facebook group called Create with Kelly Crew. So any of those that you're interested in and would like to learn tips and find out how to make some of the cards that I've created, kind of check out my designs and see what my style is and see if it matches yours. Would love for you to join me on any of those. You'll find out about Stampin' Up! Specials and sales and anything. So I'm glad to see you, Wendy. Wendy came on yesterday. I was having technical difficulties last night. Quite a few. So thanks, Wendy, for coming back today and being patient. I have redone that card from last night too. So y'all be sure and please let me know who you are and where you're from when you come on. Just make a comment. Let me know I'm not talking to thin air. That would be great. Okay, well, hopefully this will go smoother today. I think I'm doing this a different way that StreamYard kind of finally told me about 9 o'clock last night, figured something out. So we shall see how that goes. All right, this is another in my series of Flight and Airy cards that are from the celebration paper called Flight and Airy Designer Series paper. You can get a 12-pack of that for free when you place a $50 order. And that is through the end of February, which is coming up quickly. So my host code is at the bottom there. I would appreciate it if you want to order something online, that you help me out that way by using the host code. And I wanted to give you some tips on the Designer Series paper. This sheet, I wanted to show you how I did this. I used... Can you see my little pencil marks there? I kind of made myself a little template and I laid the dies on to see how I was going to maximize the number of birds I could get and what shape they should be and all that. So then I made a little template, and after I cut them out, I've got it where I can piece it together. I'll show you here. And if y'all are in the Lubbock area, you can come by and copy this off if you want. But I kind of copied this off. See, I put top left. Can you see the TL here? So I kind of fit it like puzzle pieces. I have it in about 5 different pieces because you have to know exactly where to zig and zag between all the birds to be able to cut it into a piece that will go through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that's how I did it. Originally, just penciled them in on the first sheet, and then I cut out this template. So any of my team members who want to come by, or any of my customers who want to trace this onto theirs, that will make it a lot easier. But this is what I suggest if you're out of town and can't run by, is just put those dies on here, and then there's a few birds here and there that you can't put a circle die or anything. Those are just going to have to be fussy cut. Okay, so hope that helps you. Hope that's a good tip for you. And we're going to make this card today. Right now, we've got the Softly Sophisticated bundle, which is in the Celebration catalog as a choice also. And this is with a $100 order, you can get this set for free. The bundle comes with the embossing folder that did this. And let me show you the folder itself. Here you go. The stamp set, Softly Sophisticated, and the embossing folder. So that's what I used on this card. And then we used the dies that I just showed you and forgot to tell you what they were. Something Fancy dies. And all of these supplies should be listed in my video under the See More. If you click that at the end of the video description, that should be on there for you. So hope that's helpful, because it takes a while to do. That's why, otherwise I could do a whole lot of videos a whole lot faster. But today we are going to, whoops, I haven't even I wasn't planning on gluing that together, but so we're gonna do something a little bit different on this one because I did not bring my embossing machine in here. But this way you'll get to see kind of a different option here. And let's see. I thought I had pre-done that. Let's see. I'm going to steal. Let's see what I can do. Well, I think I'll just run get that. So y'all be patient for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The screen's not frozen. I just had to leave for a sec. Okay. Sometimes the easiest way is just to go back to plan A. Whew, I know this is big there. All right. With the 3D embossing folder, you're going to use plate number 1 on the bottom. And then we'll use that embossing folder that I probably laid this on top of. No. Let's see if we can find it. I just showed it to you, so I know it's got to be here. Oh my. The Softly Sophisticated 3D folder. So we're going to kind of break the rules here. I can't even get the folder open. There we go. Normally, you put the paper inside here and you don't try to run it through sideways because you can mess up your embossing folders. But that's what we're going to do today is run it through sideways. So you want to make sure your seam or your scored line, your crease, you can even run it over onto the back just a little bit. But the line at the bottom should help you line that up. Okay, then we're going to use so we have the paper, the cardstock inside the embossing folder. And then the gray 3D embossing plate on top, which is the number 4 plate. And sorry about the popping, but that's the way it goes. All right, so here's our folder, which is now beautifully embossed. And we'll grab sometimes that makes your paper not stay very even. It kind of stretches it a little or does something. I'm not sure what, but sometimes it's just not right on the score line. So we're going to re-burnish that. Now we have the wonderful background. And this is one of the, let's make this big so y'all can see that better. Okay. And it's hard to cut up these birds on this side. That's such a pretty paper, but I did several cards like that, and I did one earlier today. If y'all haven't seen that and want to go back for that video, it used this side of the paper, but I did just have to, I thought this pecan pie side was really pretty. Whoops, that looks too long. I'm going to have to trim that off. I'm quite sure. I can tell. And we can just do that with our paper snips. And I'm just going to eyeball this. If you have grid paper or if you want to measure that with a ruler, you can do that. Well, that was the right size. It looked too long. Shows you what I know, huh? Okay, and I kind of go on both sides, making sure we smooth all that glue out there in between. And see how this pattern is similar. The pattern on the DSP is similar to that embossed pattern. Isn't that pretty? I liked it. Oh, thanks, Wendy. Glad you liked that. Thank you. Okay, so I have cut a couple of the Something Fancy dies. out, and we're going to put this on there with dimensionals. Just going to pop that up. Hope y'all are having a great day. It's a nice temperature here in Lubbock, especially for February. It is a little windy, but that's kind of to be expected in the spring. And I'll take a little wind if we get the warm temps instead of being freezing cold like it is sometime in February. Hope y'all are having good weather where you are. And I hope if you enjoy my videos, you will share them with your crafty friends. That's kind of how I expand my base of business. Because I am if you missed the intro, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2005. So I've been doing this about 18 years. And it's a lot of fun. Let's see, which bird do we want on top? I kind of think we like them that way. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and glue it. All right, we're going to, since this one is popped up, we're going to glue this one down. And you could use probably Stampin' Seal Plus would be better than Stampin' Seal if you don't like to use liquid glue. But I'm going to try to get that even so that this amount of the pecan pie showing is about equal to that, and then it's even on both sides. And I tried them offset, both of them, and just wasn't crazy about it. Usually I don't like things really centered, but it just worked out better on this card. And I use more of the liquid glue than normal if I'm putting it onto a textured background. We almost had an upside down acrobatic bird, didn't we? Oh gosh. It's amazing. Your mind just kind of blanks out when you're chit-chatting and live on air. And I just did not really want to stick a greeting on here somewhere and make it just seemed off. I tried it in several different ways, and I just decided I would make this a very neutral card because I believe this could be used for birthday, anniversary, thinking of you, even a sympathy. A lot of different things. Can be masculine, feminine, whatever you want it to be. And when I do the double bows like that, I measure out 9 inches, fold it over and cut it. So that's about 18 inches. And then cut that in the middle. So I'm going to do that twice, or I can just put one of these down, grab another end. So there's another 9-inch section. And one more, because we're using 2 double bows. So that may be a little bit excessive on the linen thread, but I like it. And I'm just going to tie. Oh, windy. Whew. Y'all got dumped on with snow. Oh my goodness. I don't know how 37 degrees below in Celsius compares to Fahrenheit here, but I know that's a lot colder than we are. I think we're in the 70s today, 70 Fahrenheit, 70-ish. We've even had an 80 degrees this week. Crazy. It is much warmer than normal here. So hope you get to stay in, Wendy. You don't have to get out and travel in it. That is what scares me, is driving in icy, snowy weather. But we're not that prepared. We do get snow almost every year, but we don't get it often, and it doesn't usually last really long. So people don't really know how to drive in it, and we don't really have the equipment here to deal with it like a lot of places do. And I'm just tying this bow just like I would tie my shoelaces, and then I just, excuse me, kind of adjust it. And then we can tighten it up. Kind of bend it to your will. Kind of a thing. Okay. And And then if you want to tighten it, pull on both the loop and the tails on both sides, and that will tighten it up if you've got it where you like it. Then I'm going to just use glue dots, and always take the embellishment or trim or ribbon to the glue dot rather than vice versa. And just kind of twist that off of there. And let's see, do I want this branch this way, this branch this way? I think we'll do it kind of like that other card where we've got one up here. Kind of trim that tail a little bit so it doesn't get in this bird's eye. And then we'll try the other one, and just whichever side you think looks best on that particular bow is the side you can put up facing you. Okay, that looks about right. I'm going to tighten that up, pulling both directions apart from each other. And we'll use the glue dots again. Wendy, did you catch the, oh my, minus 34 Fahrenheit. Oh my heavens, that is too cold. I'm sorry for you, Wendy. If I could send you some of our warm weather, I'd do it. That's for sure. Okay, and I'm just going to put this kind of over here as if it's tied around the branch. And this is a little bit long, trim that up. And then what I'm going to do on the inside, hopefully I brought my white sheets of paper that I had in my hand moments ago. Right, here we are. And we'll just put a 4 by 5 1/4 in here. You could do a lot of things to jazz it up. You could use your blending brush with some crumb cake on here and give it a little more aged look. You could do that even on these if you wanted to. I kind of like the brighter white on this particular one. I think it's cheery. So we're just going to leave this one because I hope to do several more videos today. Okay. Let's get these together. I had a pack open, and of course those are, here we go. I found them, hoorah! So I don't have to open a brand new pack right now. Kind of hate to do that if you've got some this size, the right size. And on your putty tool, your take your pick tool, you've got a putty end. And if you've got a bunch of people in classes messing with it, sometimes that putty gets out of hand, but you don't have to pull it off and start over. This still works. Sorry, it's dry here. Got to have a little drink. And I'm just going to put some of these iridescent rhinestone jewels, I believe is what they're called. I'm just going to put some of those on here, kind of as the flower centers. And these are kind of big for that. These come in 3 sizes. We may try, I just think it's kind of big. Let's just see. But it picks up the colors. Yep, it's too big. Usually picks up kind of the yellowish, yellow, orange. Sometimes it even looks pinky color on there. And there you have that. And then I had some extra little birds on that were cut off of the paper, you know, that I just showed you. So I'm going to use one of these on the inside. I'm just going to, even though this is squared off over there on the edge, I'm just going to put it on the edge of the paper and it will work just fine. You don't have to have everything perfect. This is a watercolor paper, so it's kind of imperfect anyway, and very rough edges and soft lines. And these are fairly easy to fussy cut. The birds themselves are really easy with those smooth lines. It just depends on how much detail you wouldn't have to go in between here. If you haven't done a lot of fussy cutting, you might not want to do this much detail. And anytime I can snip off some excess paper like that, I get that off and out of the way. But I'm just leaving a little white border around. I'm not going all the way in and out on everything. And I'm using my scissors as a pivot point and turning the paper, keeping the scissors stationary. I have found that that seems to work best with fussy cutting. It's pretty quick, makes light work of it that way. And you can see I'm not being exacting and I'm not going up into every tiny crevice. You just don't need to. All you want to do is get that feel that you've done something really special for whoever's going to receive your card, which you have because you took the time to make it for them. And most of the time, from what I hear, my folks say they keep the handmade cards. A lot of times they may throw away some birthday cards or whatever they receive over the years, but the handmade ones they keep. So it makes it worth your effort, even though sometimes it feels like it's a whole lot to do. Okay, lost my piece of paper already. I know that there are crafting gremlins. I just know it. Hobbits, gremlins, something. What are you laughing about, Wendy? Huh? I laugh at myself a lot, so no telling what I did to make you laugh. I hope it's a good thing. We got to be able to laugh at ourselves, don't we? I'm going to trim that bird up just a little tighter there. He's not quite where I want him to be. And I found it's better if that's a little bit rounded, not such a point. But see how that works just in that corner? Just gives it a nice little touch there. Don't you think? All right. And I will be posting all of the measurements and everything for these all. It's really 13 cards plus a little bit extra alternate designs. Whoops, dropped that right there. I think we'll just flip that over because I'm going to glue that side down anyway. I'm going to say right about there. And see how I just used that squared off edge over there at the bottom? Nobody knows that that was already cut off. Okay. And now, if you wanted to put a greeting in there, if you wanted it to say happy birthday, happy anniversary, whatever, you can, or I appreciate you, thank you, life is better with you, whatever you want to put is great. I'm going to leave this blank and then I may stamp something later or I may just fill this in. But that way this card is really flexible to be able to use however I want. And if you want to, you can store this just like this in the envelope. And then once your occasion arises that you've decided you're going to send your card for, then you could go ahead and stamp a greeting really quickly and sign it and send it on its way. So that is our card for today. Hope you have enjoyed it. Anybody have any questions before I don't know why that keeps coming back up. Evidently I'm hitting it somehow. And I've kind of rearranged after last night, kind of rearranged how I set this up. So my camera is a little different than usual. All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, thanks so much for tuning in and stay tuned. I'll be doing some more videos today. I'm just kind of getting all the supplies downloaded and put into the YouTube and all the stuff you have to do, and working on a blog post at the same time. So if you want particular measurements, you can have those. Those will be on a blog post this month, which means by Thursday. So be sure and get your orders in so you can get this beautiful Flight and Airy paper for a $50 order. Let me know if I can help you anyway. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great week. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.